In this video, we are going to take a look at the Walk the Plank blue on black constructed deck that they provide to you when you as a quest reward. Now, if you wait a couple of days, if you don't play the game every day, and then you come in after just starting your account, you'll get like 3 or 4 or 5, even all of the decks when you do your first quest, just like that. This will be one of those also. So let's take a look at what's in this deck, some of the win conditions, and what it wants to do. You get 3 Siren Stormtamers. This is a fabulous card. It's a 1 casting, 1/1 with flying. Pay a blue, sacrifice it to counter target spell or ability that targets you or a creature you control. This is so useful. This is such a great card. It can counter like other creatures, cards that are targeting your creatures. It can counter like Ravenous Chupacabras. It can counter cards that when they come into play, they do a thing. It can counter anything. It's pretty cool. Well, anything that targets you or a creature. You get 3 Grasping Scoundrels. This is just a 1 casting, 1/1. Serves as a little bit of extra pressure because it's a 2/1 when it attacks, but it's kind of weak. Chart a Course. Again, a very useful staple card in a lot of decks right now. You get 2 of those for free. Where for 2 or for 1 and a blue, you can draw 2 cards. Unless you attacked, you have to discard one of those. So if you just play this after you attack, or say you don't have the right mana mix, you can use this to get some cards. Departed Deckhand is a 2 casting, 2/2 spirit that can't be blocked except for by spirits. This serves as like a pseudo win condition as well. Now, when Departed Deckhand becomes the target of a spell, you have to sacrifice it. But still, nobody wants to use a spell on your Departed Deckhands. It's kind of cool. Like you'll get this out and your opponent won't kill it on purpose. You'll see what I mean when I play a couple of games with this deck. Kitesail Corsair is cool. It's the hang gliding pirate. As long as he's attacking, he gets flying. It's a 2 casting, 2/1 otherwise. Dire Fleet Poisoner has flash and death touch. You can sneak this in using the flash ability and then block a 1/1 or something, or not, because when it enters the battlefield, target attacking pirate you control gets +1/+1 and death touch, so you can use it as attacker or a blocker. Kitesail Freebooter is pretty awesome. When it comes into play, you look at your opponent's hand. Now you have to choose a non-creature, non-land card, and then you exile it until Kitesail Freebooter leaves the battlefield. But he's a 1/2 flyer, and they stick around for quite a while. Exclusion Mage is kind of neat. Some trickery there. When Exclusion Mage enters the battlefield, return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. So you can't Exclusion Mage your own Chupacabras later on in the game. Fathom Fleetboarder is a 3 casting, 3/3 that will do 2 damage to you unless you control another pirate. There are better options there in that 3-drop space. 3 Murders. This is great. Destroy target creature. It does cost 2 black, so there are opportunities for a better card there, given that if you don't have the 2 black, you can't murder somebody, but there are no targets that you can't murder, unlike cast down, stuff like that. If they're not elite, doesn't matter, you just murder them. Ruin Raider. This one's pretty cool. At the beginning of your end step, if you attacked with a creature, reveal the top card of your library and put it into your hand. You lose life equal to that card's converted mana cost. Pretty cool card draw at the cost of life, but that's kind of what you do. Deadeye Rig-Hauler. If you attack with a creature, you can return target creature to its owner's hand, any creature. So you can attack, hit your Deadeye Rig-Hauler, and bring like a Chupacabra back, and then use it for creature removal. Dreamcaller Siren is kind of neat, a 4 casting, 3/3 flying. When it enters the battlefield, if you control another pirate, tap up to 2 target non-land permanents, so you can tap your opponent's stuff, but it can only block creatures with flying as well, so it doesn't serve as much of a blocker. Siren Reaver is a 4 casting, 3/2, which is cheaper if you attack. It also flies. You'd get 2 Ravenous Chupacabras. This will destroy a creature an opponent controls. It is a serious pain to deal with right now. It's in every black deck and should stay in this one. It's a great card. Hostage Taker is more of a control element, where for 4, Hostage Taker enters the battlefield. Exile a target creature or artifact. I don't think it actually says an opponent controls, but obviously you would do one that an opponent controls. Until Hostage Taker leaves the battlefield, okay? So if you exile something and then your Hostage Taker gets immediately lightning bolted, that thing is then gone. goes back to your opponent's board. However, you can cast that thing. So if you exile the opponent's thing, and then they don't have a lightning bolt for your hostage taker, and you have the mana, you can cast that thing. Doesn't matter what color it is. Mana's 1 for 1 when you tap it. It's kind of. I'll try and get this out in the game and play it, and so you guys can kind of see how it plays through. Sometimes if you play your hostage taker on turn 4, you don't always get the right benefit out of it because they'll kill your hostage taker, and then they'll get their thing back that was exiled anyways. Riddlemaster Sphinx is a little tricky. When it comes into play, or enters the battlefield, used to say come into play, I'm stuck in the 90s, you may return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. Only an opponent controls, and it must be a creature, right? So you can't bounce your own creatures for extra effects. Demonlord Belzenlok, again, this one's kind of a tricky mechanic here. When he enters the battlefield, you exile cards from the top of your library until you get a non-land card. Then you draw that card. If the card's converted mana cost is 4 or greater, you do it again. And then he deals just 1 damage to you for each card put into your hand this way. So it's going to exile all the lands that you get. So once you get 6, boom, you drop him. And then you exile your lands until you get a non-land card, then you draw it. If it costs 4 or more, you do it again. There's not too many cards that cost 4 or more in this deck. I think there's like 6. Starting with, well, I guess Deadeye Rig-Hauler also costs 4. Maybe there's like 8, not including Demonlord. So this does get kind of tricky to play, but it's also kind of fun. And as an added benefit, he's a 6/6 flyer with trample. That's hard to deal with-ish. There's a lot of Doom Whisperers out there right now. But the trample piece makes him kind of nice. 10 islands, 10 swamps, 1 drowned catacomb, and 4 submerged boneyards. The mana bases are sort of like samples of what you could do. But anyways, let's see how this deck plays, and then we might talk about some potential upgrades. But I actually like playing this deck just how it comes, and that's what I think everybody should do at first. Just play it how it comes and see what you like about it. While we wait for the match to begin, don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this one, plus the big box opening coming up in a couple weeks. Alright, so this is kind of an ideal hand. We've got an early Kitesail Corsair and a Kitesail Freebooter. 2 Kitesails are better than 1, both of which are pirates, and then we can go into the Fathom Fleet Border or the Ruin Raider on turn 3. This is a good hand. We're going to lead off with the Freebooter next turn, just because the card disadvantage we're going to give our opponent, and I want to see all of his cards. My money. Ooh, he's Simic, huh? Okay, let's see what he's got. Non-creature, non-land. He's playing Merfolks. That gives me kind of an idea of what to expect in the future, and we can't exile anything. But we're going to fly right over these Merfolks. And he doesn't have any removal right now. He will have Sleep. He'll have a Tempest Caller, which taps all my creatures. He'll have... this deck, if he's playing the one, it's called Jungle Secrets, which I like. It's actually pretty good. But it doesn't come with anything like Prey Upon or Rabid Bite. So he probably won't mess with my creatures too much. And having a 3/3 next turn is going to be a problem for him. Let's go with 2 black in case I draw into a murder or something. There's a 0% chance that he attacks with, or blocks, or tries to win with a Deeper Elite. It's too good. Now we're probably going to see a River Sneak, and then a Jungle, a Jade Bearer. That's how I would play it. Get the unblockable out first, and then start pumping it up. Or that. So he could make his Deeper Elite a 4/4. Okay. It's an interesting choice. Now, being that I know he doesn't have any removal, I could steal something. Like his River Sneak. and then just start hitting him for that one unblockable. Yeah, let's see what he does about this. I'm gonna leave him with this Deep Root Elite because I feel like it. I think we're gonna take the Sneaker because I don't have any merfolks in here, so he's never gonna get bigger, and I don't have any other buffs for creatures. But it's still that one unblockable every turn that he just can't resolve. I'll drop Ruin Raider next turn also along with this. So see how the River Sneak has 1 and a blue, but its converted mana cost is 2, so it's going to cost me 2 colorless. Doesn't matter what I spend on it. I've got some murders coming up for this Deep Root Elite. I don't think it'll be too much of a problem. Seeing if he played things like Prey Upon, Rabid Bite, he could easily come after me, kill this Hostage Taker this turn, and then he would get his River Sneak back. But I know he can't do that with this deck, so he's got no choice but to attack. Now I'm not blocking. He might have, well, he might have a dive down. Nope, it's not worth it. I'm not even gonna risk it. I'll take the 6. A Swamp goes down. We'll play his River Sneak against him. And we'll do... Now I can play Ruin Raider now before the attack. It doesn't matter. There's no reason not to attack. To attack first or not. Because the raid happens at the beginning of my end step. So you'll see it's just card draw. And I'm going to come after him. He's probably going to block my Hostage Taker with his Silvergill, or the Orc with his Silvergill. In either case, I remove that Silvergill Adept from the board. But if he's playing with some emotion, he'll probably block here with the Hostage Taker just because it messed up his board a little bit. I do that sometimes. I'm like, hey, I'm killing your dude because it messed with my dude. To its owner's hand. So I could even use my Rig-Hauler and return his big Deep Root Elite back to his hand. He's got 3 counters on him. Those counters go away. What are the odds he's got a sleep or something, trying to bait me into taking all this damage? I mean, this is 11 coming my way. If I take it all, it's kind of a greedy play. When I could gang block his Deep Root and kill it. I think that's what we do. Except he'll save it. So I'm going to kill this River Sneak because it's not mine. And that way I'm not quite dead. Cool. Now we attack with everything. Oh, and win. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, let's game. Cool. We'll do a couple of more games just to see how this deck wants to play out. But that's sort of a typical game with this deck. It's actually not bad. Like a lot of these welcome decks are, the 2-color welcome decks. You want to see more, you know, bombs, more big hitters, more card draw, more removal. But you know what? They work pretty good depending on how you play them, and really if you just understand that deck's win condition, you can do pretty well with these. I like this. We'll have a turn 1 Grasping Scoundrel, who's also a pirate, which will feed the Fathom Fleet border. Hopefully we draw into a land. If not, I can chart a course on turn 2 after attacking for 2 with my Grasping Scoundrel. So this is actually a pretty good draw for this deck. And really, I mean, even if he played a Llanowar Elves right there, I know, you know what, I'm going to change this up and do Departed Deckhand, because this Departed Deckhand is super strong early. Don't put any enchantments on this because it'll die. if you target it, it'll die. Here we go. We're just going to attack with the 2/2. And then we're going to chart a course. There's my 2 cards, and I happen to get a land, and now next turn I can play my 3-drop. So it works out pretty good. This Deadeye Rig-Hauler might come in handy for whatever big creature he's about to drop. Or this murder right here. But I need that, like I said, I need 2 black for this murder. So it does get a little tricky if you try and drop a murder early. I'm going to go for 2 unblockable. And he's going to take the 4. This game could get out of hand pretty quick. If he's doing Sarkhan's Unsealing, some big dinosaurs, like a Montresaur, could come out right now. Yeah, oh boy, that certainly does suck. He knows. He's taking out the deckhands. He knows. And I am definitely not going to use my Rig-Hauler on that thing because it would just do 4 damage again to something else, so that wouldn't make much sense. This is all I have. Yeah, okay, well, this game might not go my way here real soon. He's at 8. If I get 1 more land, I'm going to take this Montresaur for myself with my hostage taker. Oh boy, oh, that is not good. He should have done 4 damage to any target or target creature. He should have done the 4 to me and then just attacked. Boy, this game would be over. Come on, land. I just need to draw land. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's see how this plays out. I know he's got other stuff to deal with this. I don't think he's going to block. He's going to take the 3 and go down to 5. He's got a block. Okay, so he doesn't have another blocker in his hand. Even if he's got another Monstrous, no, he can still cast it. It costs 5. Okay, this is the game right here. What's he got? Any creature kills me. He plays a creature with any kind of decent, I think it's power or casting cost. Oh, okay. What are the odds he's got 3 of those? So now he kills the hostage taker. Okay. Interesting move there. Huh. Well, that was weird. He should have killed my hostage taker to get his Montresaur back to attack me for 15. So I'm not going to block this because I'll still live. And if I draw black, I'm gonna play this Montresaur for fun. Now I'm close to dead. I'm gonna attack with it. If he grabs any creature, he has to block this. He can do so here and then take 2, or here and kill it. Or I mean, if he chooses not to block, he's dead. So hopefully he understands that. And I'm also dead. Now, if he makes this... He could have blocked with his Druid of the Cowl and then just hit me on the crackback for these 2 Montresaurs and killed me. He didn't see it. So... That's what we're doing. This is a fun deck to play. Okay. Go for it. So Murder would have been useful on turn 3. Or if I could have somehow dealt with his Mana Source of that Druid, but still a pretty fun game. Charging Montresaur is very strong, especially against this deck. There's not a lot of good blockers. You really got to get that removal. Still haven't seen a Chupacabra coming out. If I were to keep a deck like this, I might run 4 Chupacabras. And we're up against Bad Wolf. Somebody is a fan of Doctor Who. Oh, man. Well, there's one. This is definitely going to be a mulligan. One blue mana source doesn't quite do it. I would be slightly tempted if I had a swamp, but I don't, so we mulligan. This is a little bit better. A little bit better. Because I can do a swamp turn 1, boneyard turn 2. Yep, put that on top. I probably should have done a cheaper option, but ultimately it's not going to make too much difference. I'll have a few turns to draw into something that's hopefully pretty useful. He grabbed a forest with his Evolving Wilds. I've only seen a handful of mono green. Yeah, so he's doing green blue at least. Oh, okay, more mermaids. You guys think he's gonna block? I don't think so. This mermaid deck, Jungle Secrets that he's playing, I never block with it. It's a kamikaze. You go all in. And then I'll Exclusion Mage whatever he drops. Probably the jungle, the Jade Light Ranger. Sure. I'll let him explore 2 more times. So that's unfortunate. And then you attack with the Silver Gill for sure. No? Okay. So we're just going to bounce this guy, because we cannot have him having that. And then, so next turn, as you can see, we'll do the Siren Reaver. So I'll attack here. And he's not blocking, because he knows he's got the Mistbinder coming up. This is going to be a tough one. I may not be able to pull through with this one. Jade Light Ranger means he can't do anything else. What? He's playing a Wayward Sawtooth. Okay, that is a fascinating play. No, we're not going to block, and hopefully we draw a land again. Obviously going to save my murder for that guy. I don't want him having that guy. And we're going to attack it with everybody. He can block 1, he's going to take 4. The one he blocks, it's obviously not going to touch it. But he thinks it might. He might think I have something. Now he knows better. He's like, he knows what he's playing against. Every once in a while you can get lucky if they think you have something better than what you actually have. They will not block just because they're saving their creatures up. But this also, well, no, because he's got the Mistbinder. That Mistbinder's coming down for sure. Then he's going to hit me for all this damage. And likewise, I'm not going to block. What's this guy? That's cool. He's really cool. Okay, if I get a land, I can start murdering and Chupacabraing, and there we go. Okay, so I'm going to do a Chupa first on this Ranger. And then again, I'm going to come after him. So he's going to take 5, and then be at 5. This will be pretty scary for him, hopefully. Hopefully this changes the way he's playing the game. Kind of gets into his psyche a little bit, and he goes, oh boy, I better play something big because I'm getting attacked quite a bit. I don't think he's going to attack with the Silver Gill. He's going to save it for a blocker. Can't attack or block. Well, now he's got the City's Blessing, so this guy's useful. Creatures with counters can't be blocked for him. 3. So if he attacks me with these 2, because they're unblockable, he might have won the game. If he doesn't attack with the Mistbinder, doesn't necessarily mean I've won the game. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, let's do something. Do something funny. Let's just attack with this. Or Siren Reaver, and then we'll get a chance to see how the Dreamcaller Siren plays out with its flash ability. Plus, murder's also an instant. So if he drops something unbelievably awesome right here, I can murder it. If I need to murder that, it's fine. He's going to draw a card, but he can't play too much. Unless he plays a Mistbinder, then things don't look great. He plays a land anyways. That's just fine. And then when he declares his attackers, we'll know that step happens by the arrows that are on them. I'll do a combat juke with my Dreamcaller Siren here. So let's move into the attack phase. He knows I have something because it held priority. So I'm at 9. I've got to tap the Sawtooth and the Silvergill or the Mistbinder to not die. So let's do this. And then we'll just tap down the... I can't block the Silvergill. I need to tap the Sawtooth because it's a 5/4. And tap that guy. I don't think that worked. Oh, wait a minute. That should have worked. Why didn't it tap him down? Do you have to tap him before they declare attackers? Before that step? I mean, had I known that, I would have murdered somebody instead. That's... Oh. I'm not exactly sure why it wouldn't let me tap him down during the declare attackers phase, but whatever. Another Grun, the Lonely King. Cool. Well, that's how you play through the... what's this deck called again? The Walk the Plank. I'd like to take a quick look at... Not Siren Reaver... But the Dreamcaller Siren, Dreamcaller Siren has battlefield. So you would have to tap them before they declare the attacker's phase. Order of operations is important, so didn't realize that in that game. Luckily I was able to sneak away with a win there. Just know that that might not be a good strategy for like a combat juke, so do that before. Also with, I think, like Merfolk Trickster is the same way. So you want to make sure you tap down what needs to be tapped down before they declare attackers, or else they're still attacking and they don't tap out of the attacking phase. Paper Magic works a little differently when you tell people with your voice what you're doing than on the computer. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.